We've seen Izzo get after guys before. What's your reaction to the way people reacted to it?
Well, people have a right to react any way they would like. I mean, coaching is coaching. He's holding a player accountable. I'll tell you what no one sees in that picture. No one saw Cassius Winston, right? Cassius Winston stepping in and say, Coach, I got this. What do you want? Because Cassius Winston was Aaron Henry 2 years ago. And Cassius Winston, because of that tough love, because of the way he was being coached, has now become a leader. When you choose to play at Michigan State, you're going to be coached hard. You're going to be held accountable. And there are certain non-negotiables in that program. First and foremost, it's not making missed shots. It's playing hard, competing, drawing a line in the sand. He did not do that 2 plays in a row. Tom held him accountable. Obviously, the optics aren't great, but you know what you're getting into. And Cassius Winston stepping up and showing that leadership is a perfect example of what Michigan State's all about, because they hold each other accountable. It's almost like back in the day, Miami football. There's an expectation from the people that came before you of how you're supposed to play. I think it's coaching.
Well, it is coaching, but it's not the only way to coach.
No, but this is his personality.
I got it. I'm not arguing with you. I'm making my point. What I'm saying is that, look, that's the way Coach K used to say hello to me, but things have changed. Things are different now. And the fact that this many people reacted to it in the way they did is evidence that things have changed. That's a way to do it, and I have no problem with it. Tom Izzo can coach the way he wants. That's up to him, his players, his administration, and his league. That's fine. I'm not arguing that point. All I'm saying is I would not recommend that for a younger coach in the business.
I agree with you.
You can see, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
you can't get away with that now. And the things that were said to us when we played routinely, and I'm not just talking about Coach K, I'm talking about players, period, routinely would get you fired now. Absolutely fired. And because the world has changed. Now, I don't think it's particularly effective. It's not ineffective, but there are other ways to do it. And what you said about the optics aren't great, that's the whole point here, is the optics aren't great there. And that's why, like, look, I get it, I get what Tom's saying, that it's ridiculous. Okay, I get that. I don't agree with that. It's not ridiculous. It has merit. Now, whether he wants to acknowledge that or not is on him. That's his point. But like, you can't say on one hand, I'm telling truth to my player, and when somebody tells you truth, you dismiss it. You know, the truth is that doesn't look good, and people do not accept that well today. Things have changed. That's the whole point.
I had a player text me, an athlete text me and say, what happens if when a coach screws up and a player gets after the coach like that? Because, oh, by the way, coaches screw up too. And it happens.
Yeah, and then that would be a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's a level of respect that comes when you're speaking to somebody who's your senior. And, you know, Jay, I heard what you said about it not being effective for you. It was effective for me. Because I knew that when a coach stopped yelling at me, that meant that he didn't care anymore. Now, once again, I'm part of the old school, and I agree with you as it relates to the optics of it. The reality of the matter is that we live in an age of extremism, and that it's a reflection of the time that people blow things out of proportion. So to see that optically, it gives off the wrong impression, but the player understands that that's who Tom Izzo is. You know, and there's a trust there. And when there's that trust there, that allows for those kind of moments. Like, you know, I know we use analogies like war, and it doesn't compete to war. I'm not saying that, but you're in battle. And sometimes I don't have time to tell you how you need your emotions to be in battle. We're trying to fight through. But I agree with everything that you said.
But see, the only thing I would differ with you on that is I don't think this has been blown out of proportion. I think this has been discussed reasonably and rationally. Now, some people may not like a perspective or another's perspective, but nobody said, coach should be fired. Nobody said that. We're just saying, hey, this may not be the right way to go. And people have reacted strongly to, I don't like this.
Because, Jay,
that's different.
I don't think people deal with emotions anymore. People don't understand how to deal with interaction. And what's happening right now is your phone, when you write down your emotion on your phone, it's a way it's not interactive. You're separate from it. And now I think what people are seeing is when they see it in person, you're not allowed to act that way.
But Jay, well, like Seth's point about accountability, look, I hate to break this to Spartan Nation, but Michigan State is not the only program that holds their players accountable. They're just not. And so there are different ways to do it. And Tom has one way. I am not arguing with that. Like, he's as good a guy as I've ever known in my life. I'm not sure I've ever known anyone as pure of heart as Tom Izzo. I mean, he is fantastic. You know, so in saying this, I am not questioning him or his heart or his players' hearts or how much they love each other or how much time he spends. I'm not questioning that. It's back to what Seth said, the optics of it. Is that effective? And the fact that so many, like, the whole world is not unreasonable. That's sort of the thing, that this is a reasonable discussion.
Feels like the whole world is way more sensitive now.
Well, we are more sensitive. But there's a reason we're more sensitive.
I agree.
Yeah.
There are buyers and sellers in college basketball. All right? Coach K, Tom Izzo, Bill Self, John Calipari. All right? Their players are buying no matter what. Everyone else, like you say, these young guys, they're selling every single day. So what Tom Izzo can get away with, you're right, is different. But when guys decide to play for Michigan State, they know exactly what they're getting into. They know his passion. They know his energy. He's coaching within his personality. Right, wrong, indifferent, all right? Look, that's who he is, and they appreciate the realness in who he is. That's my opinion.
I think the only thing even about the optics, I mean, maybe I'm getting old too. I've seen this so many times, not just from Tom, but from coaches across. The kind of the lunge, hold me back thing. Could do
that's like an NBA.
How about when a football coach used to grab somebody's face mask and pull them? Like back in the day, that was okay. It's not okay anymore.